Thank you so much for joining us today. This is Lydia Craddock, and I'm with the Rockingham County School System, where I work as a career counselor, and I work with the RockATOP Apprenticeship Program. My guest today is Miss Jennifer Lester. Miss Lester, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, and Miss Lester, I know you've recently changed titles, so I'm going to let you give us your title in full over there at the community college.
Sure. My title here at RCC is Business and Industry Liaison and Apprenticeship Coordinator.
Okay, great. So first thing I want to start with then is let's take the first part of that. What does a business and industry liaison do?
That's a great question. So with my position as Business and Industry Liaison, my purpose is to be here to be a first point of contact for business and industry on any needs that they have that the community college might be able to help with. So I oversee the business and industry team, which includes the Small Business Center, customized training, apprenticeships, and then also connecting business and industry to departments to help facilitate trainings that they might need for their employees. Or, for example, if a company wanted to do a boot camp to, bring in prospective applicants and teach them some skills, see how things are going, and then, provide interviews to the successful individuals. RCC can help with things like that as well. So I can help connect companies to the right contacts here at the college.
So the college is located, it's considered Reedsville, but it's actually in the geographic center of Rockingham County at Wentworth. So you work primarily with industries in Rockingham County?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. You mentioned 4 different things, and the first one I heard you say was the Small Business Center. Can you give us a little bit of information? What is the Small Business Center? What does it do?
Sure. So the Small Business Center here at Rockingham Community College is a resource for small and medium-sized businesses to help with counseling, resources, etc. We partner with the local chambers, Rockingham County Economic Development Small Business Office, and many other partners across our county to help provide resources to those small businesses to help get them started or help them grow, whatever it is that they need.
So I'm thinking about, I know many small businesses in our community, and I'm thinking about when we start our small businesses, we don't have a ton of money in our pockets. So do we have to pay for these services when we come to you, to the Small Business Center?
Well, that's a great question. No, these services are free for the most part. Now, if there's something that an individual needs that's above the scope of what we typically do, that might be something that they would then have to fund themselves, but we're here to help find some funding sources in some instances, and our services are free to the individual.
Great, that's good to know. Now, you also said customized training was available for our businesses in Rockingham County. What's customized training?
So customized training, it's another state program just like the Small Business Center. All the community colleges do have Small Business Center directors that work with their college and customized training directors. Customized training is an incentive that companies receive, I think, when they come into a new area. If they're a certain industry, there are certain industries that's applicable to. And if a business within those industries is growing or adapting new technology, or, there's several different things that we look at, there could be funding to help with training needs associated with that. So, again, it's a state project, and it really just depends on the industry that the company is a part of, but there could be funding to help pay for some specific customized training for a business.
So if a business has, this is just a possible example, they have some gigantic new piece of equipment that folks need to be trained on, y'all might be able to help them find funding to train their folks? I mean, I'm trying to get an idea of...
Correct.
Okay, I'm trying to get an idea.
Yeah, correct. Or if there is, if a group of individuals at the company needs Excel training to do part of their job, or needs, leadership training or something like that,
okay,
there might be money to help pay for those training pieces.
So
but again, it does depend on the industry. It depends on the need. It depends on a lot of things. So we would just talk about that one-on-one.
Right. And so that's one of the things that you do is go out to these companies to see what they do need and if you have something available. I think that's great because so many people don't know what you have available because you have so many things available. And you also mentioned apprenticeship, which is where you and I work together a lot. We work a lot with our RockATOP apprenticeship program. But even before we talk about RockATOP, tell us, what is this whole concept of apprenticeship?
So apprenticeship combines on-the-job training with a formal education component as well. So the students that are within the apprenticeship program are learning on the job, and then theoretically their education is backing up what they're learning on the job as well. So it should all be tied together and very interesting to the student because they're seeing what they're learning in the classroom come to life on the job.
And I know folks have probably heard about our RockATOP program, which we work with advanced manufacturing, and we are matching up graduating seniors or soon-to-be graduating seniors. But you also are willing to work with much more than graduating seniors, than students in school. Who else can apprenticeship programs work with our industries?
Right. So business and industry can set up apprenticeships for incumbent workers, so those individuals that may already be working for the business or industry, that they want to upskill, they want to move up into management or a leadership position. So there can be incumbent worker apprenticeships. There can be adult apprenticeships. So adult apprenticeships are going to be anybody that's already out of high school that wants to come on board with an apprenticeship. There can be veteran-specific apprenticeships. So companies can look at, if they have a strong interest in working with veterans, we can set up a veteran-specific apprenticeship. And then, again, also youth apprenticeships is what RockATOP does, but companies can also set up their own youth apprenticeship program outside of RockATOP if that meets their needs better.
Great. And I think, I think you've done, our whole RockATOP consortium has done a good job of marketing RockATOP. But sometimes I think folks think that apprenticeship is just for the very young. And you going in and talking to the companies, I think some of our companies may not have joined us because their industry does require, their insurance or other things say that folks have to be 18 years old. But you do have some opportunities for other apprenticeships. And so I want to make sure that our business listeners do realize that they can contact you for that information. Then you also mentioned that our RockATOP apprenticeship is primarily advanced manufacturing, but you can work with a company to develop an apprenticeship in another job position. Is that true?
That's correct. So there are many, many apprenticeable occupations as set forth by the Department of Labor. And so we would just work with our state apprenticeship NC consultant to ensure that whatever the position is that the company's interested in is an apprenticeable occupation. So it could be in IT, for example, in information technology. It could be in welding. It could be in healthcare. It could be, there's so many different options. Construction trades, just trying to think of some off the top of my head. So we would be happy to work with a company to help set up apprenticeships in areas other than advanced manufacturing. Accounting, business, whatever. And then the education component, we can definitely work with the company to help meet their needs. If it's an associate degree, we have wonderful associate degree programs in all of those areas I mentioned. If it's just maybe a certificate, we can look at that if that's the need. So we could talk one-on-one with companies about how to get where they want to be in terms of results from the apprenticeship program.
And Jennifer, Miss Lester, I think that's fantastic because a company can call you and they can start and they don't even have to know what they need to know yet. They can come to you and say, here's a need we have. You've got all of these programs and you can try to match something to what they need. I think that's fantastic because sometimes I think our businesses don't come to us because they've heard about one program and they say, well, that program's not going to work for me. But
Right.
it seems like you've got many, many programs.
Right.
So, but before we leave today, I do want to talk about, you have got new students coming in for the RockATOP pre-apprenticeship program this summer. Tell us about that.
Yes, we are very excited about that. So this year we had our largest year ever in terms of applications received for students interested in the RockATOP program. We had a very successful 2 weeks of an invitational event this February where students were tested, they were interviewed, they did group projects, trying to think. They did all sorts of neat activities, interacting with company representatives, and then 28 students were invited to participate in the pre-apprenticeship this summer. And so right now we're in the process of getting all the paperwork from these students, ensuring that everybody is on board and has everything completed, and they'll be taking 2 college classes this summer, and they'll be working for their company this summer. And so this is, again, kind of a job interview summer, 6 weeks or 8 weeks of a job interview where they're trying to decide, is the company and apprenticeship a good fit for me? And the company is trying to decide, is this student a good fit for us? And then at the end of the summer, the student and the company will make that determination whether or not the student is going to sign as a full apprentice, or maybe try again next year, or maybe it just wasn't the right fit, and that's okay too. So we're really excited to hopefully have all of these 28 start with us in the summer, and then see what happens and who ends up signing in the fall. So we will have a signing ceremony in the fall. And at that signing ceremony, we'll also be celebrating our first cohort graduates at that time. So we are super excited that we have our first cohort that is actually graduating this summer.
Oh, great. Thanks, Miss Lester. And I know that you have put so much work in this the last 4 years as this project has been going forward. We're excited, and I would encourage our companies to realize that anybody in Rockingham County, small business, large business, industry, whatever, that Miss Jennifer Lester is at Rockingham Community College, and she is your first contact to get you in touch with all of the various programs that are available. Her phone number is 336-342-4261. She's at extension 2139. Or you can call the college and ask for Miss Jennifer Lester. Phenomenal work that's going on over there. Many, many different programs that will work with our community, with our industries. Miss Lester, thank you so much for taking time to be with us today. And I know you are incredibly busy. You're making several business calls in different businesses every day. But as a result, I hope that your phone just rings off the hook, because I know you have so many things over there available for our businesses to help develop our work community. Thank you for your work, and thank you for chatting with us today. We appreciate it so much.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you listening to us. If you have an industry, or if you are thinking of starting a business, please get in touch with Miss Lester. She's again at 336-342-4261 at Rockingham Community College. It's Miss Jennifer Lester. This is Lydia Craddock. I've enjoyed talking with you today, and I look forward to doing it again soon.